Hey After School Program, this is Miss Butler. Today we're going to work on expanded form. In the last video I showed you guys how to add using the place value chart, so now I'm going to focus on expanded form with adding. The hardest part of what the expanded form I think is just making sure we actually have the expanded form down, because I feel like once you understand place value, expanded form's not really too bad. So what I normally do to teach my kids expanded form, I normally always teach them through a number bond first. So we have the number 346. And I teach my kids that if there's not a zero, you count a tally for each one. So I'm going to put a tally here, and a tally here. And these each represent the place values that these numbers belong to. So this side right here, working from right to left, this number right here is in the ones place, and I'm just going to write the number 6 because it's not a 10, it's not a 100, so there's no zeros involved with this number. Alright, I have a 4 here, but I know this number is not actually 4, it's actually 40. So I'm going to write the number 40 right here. And then my last number is not actually 3, it's actually 300. So I'm going to write 300 right here. That's why it's really helpful if you learn your place value before you do the expanded form, because then you can do this very, very easily and get it done quickly. And I always just put my plus signs here so I can keep track of my expanded form. And then you can write it out a little bit more evenly right here. So that's the expanded form of the first number. I'm going to go ahead and do another expanded form of another number because I want to get to the adding part pretty quickly for this video because the last video was kind of long. So, our numbers we're going to add are 346 plus 582. Okay? Sorry about the glare. So, I've done the expanded form of this number. It's right here. So now I need to do the expanded form of this number. So I'm going to do that number bond again. 582. And I put a tally for every number I see, as long as it's not a 0. So I'm starting from right to left. 2 is in the ones place, so it's just 2. The 8 is in the tens place, so 8 tens is the same thing as 80. And the 5 is in the hundreds place, and 5 hundreds is the same thing as 500. And then I can add my plus sign so I can see what it looks like. And now the most important thing is when you are adding for expanded form is that you line up the place value. Well, the 2's got to go with the 6 because the 6 and the 2 are both in the ones place. The 80 and the 40 have to go in the same place value because they're both in the tens place. And the 500 and 300 have to go in the same place value because they are in the hundreds place. Now, you could add your place value lines if that's helpful, so your plus signs, but our goal is to use this method to help us add. So now that we have the plus signs as our dividers, we can tell where to add. So our first numbers are 6 and 2, and 6 and 2 make 8. I'm going to put an 8 here. I'm going to put a plus sign. I have 40 plus 80, which is the same thing as 120. So my only issue is I have 120 here, and I need to get a smaller number here because this is not going to work. So I would have to figure out how much more I can add here. Instead of doing that and carrying it over, I'm just going to leave it as 120, and then I'll show you guys how I add towards the end. And then I have 300 and 500 here, and that's going to make 800. Okay? Now we got to go add this whole portion together because we want to make sure that our place values do not have huge numbers in between. So this is 800, 120, and 8. And I like to just kind of go back to the standard algorithm because it makes it a lot easier. So 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 8. 0 plus 2 is 2. And 8 plus 1 is 9. So now our answer is 928. So I wrote it up here. Okay. So now we're going to do another problem real quick. But like I said, using that number bond really helps save you time because once you write the numbers, you just got to line up the place values. All right. Next problem. Give me just a second. Or it's a little hard to erase. Very, very dusty. Okay. So this time I'm going to write the full equation down. So it's going to be 392 plus 586. So if you don't know how to put in expanded form yet, remember, just do your number bonds. So I'm going to do 2 number bonds. And I already know to put 3 tallies because each of these numbers there's 3 in them, 3 digits in them. Alright. And then I always start from right to left. So I'm going to start with this one right here. So I'm looking right to left for this number. So 2 is in the ones place, 2 goes straight down. 9 is not really 9, it's really